It's very early in the morning for me, a rather later than usual stream for me. It is, it's 2 a.m. and I've just had a house guest who I've been helping with their crafting leave. So now I can get some done on this commission on the stream, so you guys can follow along. If you're not aware of what it says down there in the title, I am making a sword from Skyrim for a client. I'm making the steel GreatSword. Let's sort things out here. There we go. This is the steel GreatSword that I'm making for the client at the moment, and I've just started laying on those details there. Don't know what you consider this time of the day. It's 2 a.m, so I'm not sure exactly what time of the day I'm going to call it. So I'm just starting to do these details here. I've traced out the pattern, cut it out of foam, laid the foam down, but just to give it a little more pop, I noticed there was a couple of lines that need to be scored with the knife. So I'm going to do that. And then when I hit this with the heat gun later on to seal it, these lines will open up and do the border and the overlay, underlay kind of thing that's actually on this. So anyway, Fen, how the devil are you? Thanks for joining us. We're in the first cab off the rank today. Was that side I did? It was that side. Okay. Make another bit of this pattern, which you can see there, to go on the crossguard. Just at work, waiting to go home. Both of the leads on my team went home early and we have no direction at all. Fair enough. Well, it's Friday over there, isn't it? They're having a long weekend, are they? Here and here and here. Picked up another commission today. You have to wait another 3 hours twiddling your thumbs. Okay. So yes, today's commission was kind of cool. It's actually 5 weapons from Skyrim that he wants done between now and December. So that's going to be cool, I guess. I wish I was, but I have vacation in a couple of weeks. Can't get here soon enough. Sweet. Think of all the crafting you can do on your vacation. I've got a bit of shaping to do with the Dremel on the sides of these flukes. And there's also a bit of shaping to be done on the crossguard after the 2mm is added. Okay, so I'm pretty certain I've done all the way around that. I have. So when we hit that with the heat gun, they're going to open up and it's going to form a border all the way around. And it's also going to make these 2 pieces here stand proud and make it look like the weaving goes behind them. So I've done that on both sides already. I had to do something while I was... Yep, I've cut all those as well. So now, I'm going to put the sword aside. I'm going to cut all the dark part out of that. I'm going to trace it across to foam, cut out 2 of them, apply them to the crossguard. So that fellow can sit just there. So that's my pretty little lace doily for the bit you just saw me work on. now got to do the same thing with this. Get sticky tape across the entire part of the pattern I want to hold together except for the bottom there. So we'll put another piece there so that when I cut away the black, it doesn't want to fall to pieces on me. Itchy palm. Right, let's get dark. Playing some stuff in the background for us. There was a heat advisory here today, so you didn't get to your storage unit yesterday, but you think you might today. Sweet. Supposed to get to 42 degrees Celsius here for an extended amount of time. Okay. Yeah, 42 is a tad warmer than we like to enjoy. So I cut all the dark bits out first, and it's not until I've glued this lace down to the sword that I'm going to go and cut the recesses out. I want to make sure things in your unit aren't melting. I can imagine at that temp that it would probably be a concern. There we go, let's do that. I think we were discussing last night, was it? The downsides of low temp heat guns. I've had my stuff fall apart by using a low temp heat gun to glue it together. So it's one of the reasons why I pretty much exclusively use contact adhesive on builds. Once bitten, twice shy kind of thing. Indeed, then. The glue in low temp glue guns just goes, oh, well, this is pretty much close to my heating temperature in the gun. I think I'll just let go. Next thing you know, you've got seams popping and bits falling off left, right and centre. That's one of the parts of that. It's boring, but the end results are really worth the while. So That's all I've been doing for the last few hours actually. Is one, cut it out of the paper, then trace it across the foam, cut it out of the foam, stick it on the sword. So I'm kind of in that zone at the moment. And I did some extra work on the blade last night when I shaped the blade. I only used the... Most little tedious jobs tend to be super worth it in the end. Absolutely, I think it's really going to it's going to pop on that sword when we're done it. So I shaped the blade last night with the crafting knife and the 60 grit sanding disc on the Dremel, and then today I did my defining. There's a little bit of ripple in there, but I don't think he's going to be too stressed about that. I went over it with the 120 grit sanding disc, and I think I got a really nice finish on that foam. So I'm really happy with that. Took it right up to the ridge, defined the edges, and got a really nice smooth look out of it. I haven't even hit that with a heat gun yet. I need to have a chat to him and see whether he wants any battle damage and age on this, and I'll work from there if he does. But at the moment the blade definition is done, so I'm working on the intricate details on the cross guards. I really should bring my glass top back over while I'm doing all this cutting, because it's just cutting into the tabletop, which is disposable. It's a sheet of 3mm Aussie. I am on, my friend. Yep. Get a bit done tonight. I see you were streaming World of Warcraft earlier on. Oh, you didn't get the education job extension contract to the end of the year. Ah, that's a shame, man. Warcraft and stuff, you got the NBN connected, so your upload is great. You can actually stream now. Yeehaw. So piss off about not getting your education extension though for work. Pretty much spending money gone for the year, plus means you actually have to save for things. Oh, shiza. Like an adult? Damn. My plan for tomorrow, well, today, considering what time it is head into Bunnings, get a heavy walled packing box, come back here parcel up the Yon Dragon Slayer and head up to the airport and see if I can't get it freighted across to the Netherlands. We'll send that puppy via a freight company that's based at the airport, which is a damn sight cheaper than DHL and FedEx, and hopefully a damn sight more fucking reliable than Australia Post and the USPS. Got an email from the Australia Post saying, yeah, thanks for tracking down the or inquiring about your non-delivered parcel. We've had a chat to our international partners in the US, and they can take up to 60 days now to respond with what's going on. That's from the inquiry point of view. However, a little more research, and I have discovered that based on the information on the tracking, it's at ICS in Los Angeles, which basically means that it's in the hands of customs, and they can keep the item up to 45 days, and then they must notify me within 45 days. They must notify me whether there's a customs issue with my parcel. Well, they've had it since the 17th. I posted that parcel 40 fucking days ago, so they've had it 35 days, which means they have 7 days. No, 45 days. Augie! Yeah, they don't have too much longer anyway before they have to give me a customs reason as to what's the hold up. So that probably will happen before the Australia Post inquiry as to where the parcel is. The moment they spoke to me, so 60 days from now that I've actually asked them to follow up on it. That's bullshit. So I'm a little pissed off with rain, hail, sleet and snow and all that other bullshit they force feed you. So how are you, Borgie? How you keep yourself busy? Yeah, exactly. They say nothing about customs and that. And the thing is, there's no apparent internal tracking in the ICS office. So I can't even ring customs and go, hi, you got a parcel 35 days ago. Any idea how far through the process it is? On the good news, I picked up 5 more commissions today, and all of them are Australian. So with a little bit of luck, getting those to the clients won't be an issue. Touch wood. Yeah, 5. Kind of cool, and all of them Skyrim weapons. 3 axes and 2 swords. So I have this one and the Highlander sword to get done before Evolve, which is the 26th of August, so a month. That won't be an issue. One of the 5 is another one of these swords. A lot of people are making Skyrim armor. Or lol, people making a Skyrim armory. Yes, indeed. With me being the blacksmith at the foam forge. I really do need to work out a proper maker's mark that I can discreetly pop on my builds. Tyrannus Greymane. Way up. Get a metal stamp, heat it up and smack it into the EVA foam. Even coating it into the foam, rubber, etc. will still slightly show up and you can paint over it, just like a cattle prod for branding. Indeed. I believe Beardy and I were talking about that. He was looking at 3D rendering my T for me in a way that I could send it off to Shapeways and get them to print a metal one that I could hit up with the heat gun and just go tss. So yes, I'm thinking that T right there at the beginning of Tyrannus. All I'm actually doing on my pieces at the moment is carving a circle and just so that's all I've been doing at the moment. Hit it with the heat gun, pop, do it somewhere discreet on the piece. For instance, that Viking bearded axe that I made for Supernova, I put it on the base of the pommel, or the base of the handle, because it didn't actually have a pommel. I'm as smart as Beardy. The man has a doctorate, I think. He did a thesis. Isn't that what happens when you do a thesis? You get a doctorate? I don't know, because I'm not as smart as Beardy. The T and C together on his logo at the moment would look awesome. It's also got to be something that's small and indiscreet and doesn't detract from the prop I'm making for clients. A cock, as in rooster. Why a rooster? What led you down that path? I didn't say no. That's what led you down that path. You know what? Internally, I probably did say no. I love how you said it first and it let you, and now it's asking me to allow you. Censored by Big Brother. I don't have a mod. Message you later. You could help me with the 3D logo. Well, yeah, he was talking about just basically taking the T, like I said, up there and doing it as a 3D brand, basically. So I could send it off to Shapeways and they'd make me a little doink. It says auto mod because it's a butthole. Or maybe you were just more offensive the second time you wrote the word cock than you were the first time. I don't know. And the second time, did you type it with a smile on your face or something? Thought it was a little funny that it let you do it the first time and not the second time. You may have had a little bit of a grin. There you go, see? There's your problem, man. Having way too much fun with it. Bit of fun at KFC's expense, you reckon? Well, kinky is using a feather. Perverted is using the entire chicken. So I've been told. I rest my case. Or efficient. Tomato, tomato, you know. So last night was a crazy kind of night with all those new subscribers. That kind of blew me away. I was all gobsmacked by that this morning when I Okay, I'm lying. It wasn't this morning. It was early this afternoon. I came out and had another look at the subscriber board of Wall of Fame. Come on, out you come. I needed to feel loved. Aussie reckons they're just his other accounts. Okay, cool. Well, you can see him up there. Neo Absolution, Big Chicky 61, and TNT Cosplay Supplies. All made me feel the warm and fuzzies last night. And we had Tim Tams and everything. Oh my god. I knew I shouldn't have slept on time. CK had Tim Tams too, on what's dark and furry. Bring on the Tim Tam revolution. Fang, can you go to work for me? The Tim Tam fan. Don't rip the paper, indeed. It's not like I can't print out another one, but it would be a pain in the arse. stupid freaking thing. I wonder if it's got something to do with this hour of the morning, whether it's like, you know, the 3 AM updates or something or other. I'm fairly certain that I turned that guff off early on in the stage. But I have had to do a reboot after an upgrade, so... yeah, my entire stream stopped because the OBS software ran out of frame rates. Ran out of kilobits per second. It dropped right down to 0. So basically, I'm going to do this 3 freaking times. Once for this paper template, and then twice for the 2 pieces on either side of the sword. But it's so going to make the sword look crackerjack. Yo, Wizzo! How are you, man? You're going to crash in about 15 minutes. Okay, mate. Wizzo, having my children. Really? Not good morning. How are you, Wizzo? Good to see you again. No, straight into the have my children. You know what the problem was, Ozzy? You didn't even offer to buy him a drink first, man. Sure. I don't think you could handle buying me a drink. You can't handle the truth. Beardy! Just get a bottle for Angelico. It's got to be a whole bottle. Tim Tam Slam with Frangelico. Actually, that sounds like quite a fucking great way to power through both Tim Tams and Frangelico. So Beardy, I've shaped the blade. Got a ridge down the middle, with it tapered off slightly towards the edges, and then I've got that 45-degree comical look that it has in the game. And I've done it both with a 60 grit sanding disc, and then I've gone over it with the 120. I got my patterning there on the flukes. And right now I'm working on the same patterning to go across the crossguard. It is. This is the crossguard cutout now. So as you can see, I'm getting across it. So I've got to do all of that area there, and then I've got to do 2 more on the foam to attach, and then there's some shaping to be done. And of course there's even more finer detail on the pommel. And I was mentioning to Fen and Aussie earlier on, I picked up another 5 build commission today, and one of the items in the commission is another one of these swords. So it's 4 in the first batch, and then pending time frame and finances, the 5th one, because he's moving, so I need it all done by the 1st of December. Hey, let's build the same build again. Well, we all know how much I like building the same thing over and over. Helmets, chest pieces, swords. And it's a good thing and a bad thing. No, local. No customs involved in this transaction, fucking bastards. I've had that axe since the 17th. Apparently, within 45 days, they have to inform me as to why there's a delay. And my postal service has spoken to the US Postal Service and instigated a track on it. And now they have up to 60 days to tell me where it is. Or what the issue is. What's this? Content? Ooh, bling! Them's some pretty work. I don't have that skill level. I'm gonna stick to foam, man. Foam doesn't tear your hand to pieces. Yeah, it looks like it. Definitely on that the right hand one of the two. You can see the rivets still pointing out the top that he hasn't burnished over. Only took a month. Only took a month, ladies and gentlemen. Huh, as quick as me. I wish. Oh. Sure, if you ask Ozzy nicely, he'll make you a foam one. It's okay, he's going to bed in a minute. Don't shake your head, we were all thinking it. Oh no, we fucking weren't. Yeah, please do, man. Let's take a look at. Don't lie. You've been coming around here long enough to know I pretty much tell it as I see it. I may not let that stream go any further than that. That's some crazy curly freaking line work in there. You mean helmet, don't you, Aussie? No, I'm fine. I've only just eaten, but thanks for the offer. Yes, but I also have block. So I can block your number specifically, and I already have private numbers sent straight to message bank anyway. You haven't done anything yet. Ah. It sounded rather defensive there, man. Katsana! How are you this morning, Kit? He's be a chrome dome. You good? Good to hear. Okay, nearly got the last piece done. I can transfer this across to foam and start all over again. Won't that be exciting, boys and girls? Oh, we'll miss you, Ozzy. We will. Makes sense? It's okay. Even after you're gone, we will continue talking about you. It normally takes me about half an hour to apologise to everybody and calm them back down again. Only 30 minutes, yes, I'm a very convincing talker. Yes, well, we don't always get what we want, but if you try real hard, I think you'll find you get what you need. Will do, buddy. You take care of yourself, man. We'll catch you next time. Okay. Now the transfer to the 2mm. Come on. No. Beautiful. I was worried for a second there that I have to do it diagonally, but I can get both of them out of the one piece of foam. So that's good. A vinyl cutter? But what would I do for an hour of the stream? Exactly, see? We'll cut that out in 2 minutes. And for the other hour of the stream, we'll have to cuddle. Meow Absolution, how are you? Welcome along this morning, evening, afternoon, whatever the hell your time frame happens to be. make, mow or shed, of course. Good point. I could use that hour constructively. There we go. I'll start a Patreon to buy a vinyl cutter. That shit works, doesn't it? I'd still have to draw out the pattern anyway, in a vector graphic, rather than getting it to try and cut this out. Going to work lurk mode for a bit, because adulting and shit. Yep. Because it's still like Friday Arvo for you guys, isn't it? Ask Furry. Nope, a pen does it. Yeah, they got one down the craft store there, and they sell replacement knives and stuff for it. It cuts the line on the pen line and creates a vector grid, exactly, but because this is a grayscale pattern, I'd still have to go around and draw a line art for it to cut. So kind of like the way I did the pattern on the Kratos axe. Pull the artwork into Photoshop, add another layer, draw the line out on the layer, and then delete the layer. Yeah, and it would give me templates for future work, and I could tidy up lines and blah 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 blah. But you know what? No, not yet anyway. It's more money I'd have to spend on stuff. I was thinking you would have to have had it for that one axe with the very elaborate lines in the art. The Kratos axe. That puppy. A different one than that. Same kind of design as this on it. The other Skyrim one. Now that was all freehand. That's pretty simple design, the stuff on the Skyrim axes compared. Yeah. Rory, let go. Fucking pain in the ass. Plastic man. This one. But that was really easy. Far less detail compared to this. Grimm's yellow. Get it? Yellow. Yep. Someone's commenting on my Instagrams. Yellow became jello. Indeed it did. Unless you're in a certain part of the world, then Jays are wise anyway. There we go, phone fabrication and enunciation pronunciation lessons. It's a wonderful world. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. We're getting there, getting there, past the halfway mark. Yay! Oh, that looks pretty. Okay, and I haven't missed any of them. So that's always a plus. Hey, there's an idea. I still have one more of these to do on the pommel. So there might be an avenue there, because that detail is finer. Yes, I have all that to do on the pommel. So we're going to trace that out, pin that out, trace it out again, and then I'm going to cut them out. And don't have to flip the design because basically the sword is just, yeah. Just realised why I got the munchies. It's 3:30 and I ate at 6, so yes, it's quite a while ago. IQ Workshop, good evening to you. Thanks for joining us again today. How you doing? Sound like Joey. How you doing? Nope. 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 Blunt. 5:42 a.m. 3:24 a.m. here, so 5:24. Yep, 3 hours. Yep, or 2 hours, I should say. Yes. Back from your holidays, so watching a good BB connection. Gotcha. That one's sharper than the other one. Beautiful. BB broadband. Ah, okay. That makes sense, I suppose. I'm in Australia. We don't have a decent broadband. So unique over here. We're calling it the NBN, the National Broadband Network. Except it's slow as fuck. Slow as fuck. Yep. Copper wires. Are you still on ASDL? Answer faster. Yeah. Yeah, we're supposed to be, according to one of our former prime ministers, the clever country. Our politicians aren't clever enough to realise that slow internet is damaging to our income. Well, that was hardly worth putting back in the fridge. Sorry about that. How are you, Yons? You well enough? Good to hear. Whoa, C+2. Anyone know if he made that template and out of what material? I printed it out. It's the game art, dude. So I just literally spent the last hour cutting out all the details, and now I'm tracing it onto the foam to cut the details out of the foam. But it's just a printout. I printed the sword from the game life size, and I use that as my artwork. Crimbot wants to know if Crimbot can reach his legs now after the Gihi Yoga. It does look kind of metal, doesn't it? But no, it's just to print out on the paper. Hopefully once I paint the sword, it'll look metally. Because at the moment, it just looks like yellow foam. See, just paper. No, there's only 2 Tim Tams left. Hey dude, I'm just gonna lurk. I need a nap. This shoot I just went to destroyed you. Thanks for the host, Tumble. Oh, look them love hearts. Oh. So yeah, host while I'm killed in action. God, that's cold. And here we go. Why so serious? This thing is so slow. Pull the fire alarm. That tends to liven up the day a bit. You could actually be doing something at home. You could be. However, wouldn't that mean that you wouldn't be watching my stream? You're doing both, working and watching. You don't know. Maybe that'd mean you weren't watching my stream. Fair enough. At least you're kind of honest. I'm at work, but I am not working. Working while watching terror work. Ooh, Inception. Workception. so much rubbish down there on my floor. I've just been tossing stuff off the side of the desk while I've been making those swords, and it's piling up. Sounds normal, random scraps everywhere, indeed. I have another workshop day on Sunday. I'll clean it in preparation for that, because it just gets underfoot with all the people stomping around here making stuff. It's going to look so pretty. And cut little bits like this out. I think to myself, why am I bothering with such a pissy little piece? And then I know as soon as I skimp on that, I'm going to notice it if it's not there. I say, it doesn't look right. There should be a piece not there. Oops. It's all wiggly, this bit. I'm making my eyes go cross-eyed. don't know if anybody else has worked in such same kind of thing, lots of little detail being cut out of 2mm foam, but it's a lot easier to remove all this detail and then cut the piece out. Piece tends to stay more firm as you're working. At least that's what I found anyway. Done. It's not that the 2mm foam bluntens the scalpel all that much. I mean, it does, but not a lot. It's also that I'm pressing through into the MDF board underneath. And it's a small thing, sharpening the blade to give you nice crisp edges. That's why I stop and sharpen the blade so frequently. And while I do have a nice sheet of glass that used to sit quite comfortably on the top of my workbench, because I have so many other people over here crafting, I've put it on top of the table on the other side of the room because that doesn't have a surface that you can cut on. It also tends to send glare back up into the camera too, so. Violation Props, how are you? Welcome along this morning. Because it is indeed morning for me. So how are you doing this fine day? Not horrible. The weather's bad though. Oh, okay. That's unfortunate. We're having off and on rain over here. And the worst thing really is it's just making it hard to put clothes out on the line for us. So not really that much worth complaining about, really, is it? Come on. As you can see, almost finished the first of the crossguard details. I have finished the Tim Tams. I'm sorry, there's none left. Now this little shizer, oh, I gotta try and straighten my back out a bit. Is going to go on here on the crossguard. Not the Tim Tams, not my beautiful gumdrop buttons. Where's your Tim Tam? In my belly. Now, that detail is going to go up there like that, and you can see there's a bit of material here and here. That's where we start tapering it in and making the ricasso rounded off is on the edges. No! Yes! Okay, so we've got that little piece there to go. And because I was never one for delayed gratification, once I've cut that little piece out, I'll cut this one off, lather up the sword with some glue, and pop this one on while I'm cutting the details out for the second one. Well, yeah, and when I put the bottom one on, Neo, I I slapped it on there, and then I had a closer look at the actual artwork, and I noticed that there's kind of like some overlay pieces and a border all the way around it. So I've drawn it in on pen, but then I've gone over those pen lines with the craft knife and cut it through the foam a bit. So when I hit this with the heat gun, of course, that's going to pop open, and it's going to give us those border around the whole thing and inset the pattern inside that rectangular border and those two triangular ones. Now there's much the same kind of thing going on with this one. You can see two very distinct lines here. So they're going to get the borders cut on them, and there's a border all the way around it to encompass it. So it's going to give it another level of detail again. That fucking thing is not in the center. That one looks a bit better. Gotta admit, Violation, I looked up and I saw your name the first time and I damn near freaked. I thought, fuck, Vulpin Props as well is coming and having a chat? We call that wishful thinking and a fucking big ego. Why the hell would Harrison pop over here? You got way too much shit happening. Everyone does, or pronounces it wrong. But it's not, it's Violation, isn't it? At least it appears to be. Fen did the same thing. Went, oh, wow. And there goes my bitrate again, guys. My kilobits a second are jumping all over the place. I don't know why, gang. The interwebs are fighting back. Well, let them, I say. Okay. Aussie broadband, the wet bit of string. Indeed, there might be a breeze or something. The string's waving, wiggling around. That always gives us crappy internet when the bit of string wiggles around in the breeze. Now it is not a snug fit on the bottom because again I've got some shaping to do with the Dremel. Well, that's going to go on there. Excuse me. Now once I've got it on and glued it, I've got to shape that, but I'm also then, after I've got the two mills on both sides, that's when I'll make the surfaces flush with the Dremel and make it all pretty and artistical and shite. Laugh, love, Lindy. Thank you, my dear. It's coming along nice. I've got the bottom ones on there already. So of course the ricasso gets wrapped in a leather wrap with some lacing on it, thusly. So that will go there. The handle also gets bound in leather wrap, however there'll be a collar halfway around it. It's still got to be shaped, of course. The pommel needs to be shaped off on the edges, it's too high, so they taper down a bit. And there's a piece cut out of the centre, shaped and put back in again. So it will look like that. And for now, let's get on with the show. Moo ha ha. A little tidy as we go. So I pinned that down and traced it out. And you can see the outline there on the camera. So I know where to plaster my glue. Gotta hope so, Lindy. Always have a pair of vice grips handy in the workshop. Had to break out the big guns to get the can open, yes. I screwed up the lid. I stripped the thread on the child-proof bit. And it's supposed to go click, 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 click when you spin it around. Well, it fucking doesn't anymore. The lid just, the red plastic just spins on the inside. so the multis take that off without too much issue at all. Now, the detail inside the filigree is not smooth and flush, and this whole thing gets sprayed with a rubber spray, much like your Plasti Dip. So the fact that I have glue inside the hollows on the sword is not going to be detrimental to the finish on this at all. Thank you for that auto host there, Hazy, and for those of you who have come over with Hazy's auto host, g'day. I can't see whether the... No, yes, I can. Couldn't see whether the surface was getting glue on it all or not. Because I don't want any bits of this lifting. So you're obviously going to make sure that you've got glue across the entire surface area. Because you've got so many little tabs like that that could lift, and this one that could lift. Okay. Let's put that there for a minute or 3. So you can just hear it slipping. It's just meh. "45 minutes to go!" Then you're going to abandon me, aren't you? Just go home to play computer games or something. No, you won't. Right. While I'm letting that glue cure off a little bit, I'll continue chopping some of these out. Where is my greaseproof paper, because I'm going to need that in a couple of minutes. Up there in the corner. Okay. See? Even admits it. He doesn't love me for me. He only loves me for the escape from work that I provide him. Been sitting here looking at Amazon for the last few hours, looking at things you shouldn't buy. Have you brought any of the things that you should not buy? Nope, not yet. You're good. Tara, once I've finished my 3D printing prop, I'm thinking of starting an EVA full suit. But we'll start with his weapon. Can I use the same technique you use for swords for a crowbar? Yeah, I think you can. Making a core and then coating it in foam. Yep, believe you can. Maybe it's an armored Batman Joker variant. Okay, so it's not. It's a hip suit. Staring at the top of my head isn't invoking your follicle envy, is it? That's what a luscious wig is for. What the fuck? No way! Who do you think I am? Donald fucking Trump? Love to do a Tron player suit with a mix of EVA, 3D printing and casting. Sounds like a good idea. Shotgun Props, how you doing? I like me my Doctor Who. Sorry guys, it's just something we're going to have to put up with for a little while, that bloody dropping in and out like that. Couldn't handle the stream, couldn't handle the Doctor Who lava lamp, indeed. Personally having difficulty handling a Doctor Who lava lamp. I likes the Doctor. So that's on there now, and the trimming the lines on either side of that and around the border and stuff. Just it again brings that up one more step. So as I said earlier on, this shape here is to help me bring the taper in along the edge of the ricasso. I think that looks good. I also think, seeing as it's 4:30, I'm going to try and knock out the other one and glue that on and then call it for the evening. So yeah, we've probably got about another half an hour or so, guys, before I pull the pin. Whoops. Got to keep the Instagram fans happy. There we go, that'll go up to the Instagram later on. Let's get this other one done. Looks great, thank you very much, Fen. I think it's coming along nicely. Sorry, that says I have no viewers, and I know that's a load of malarkey. There's 6 of you out there apparently. So this is what I'm aiming at. The detailing on this is a 3D render from somebody else. I just like it as the overall aesthetic for the blade. However, the detailing that I have in these engravings that I'm cutting out are straight from the game artwork, and that stuff that we're seeing there is pretty damn close. It's just not 100%. The crossguard's pretty close. It's that bottom bit down there, and that doesn't matter a whole lot, because again, nobody's actually going to scrutinize this enough to realize that well, actually, if they scrutinize mine, they'll see that it's the game artwork. If you have a look at the details here, particularly in the center section, they're not the same, and it doesn't really matter. Yes and no, Crims. Peter is the 13th incarnation of the person. However, John Hurt's incarnation did not take the name Doctor, so you could argue that Peter Capaldi is the 12th Doctor, but the 13th incarnation of the person. At least that's what the Whovians are arguing. Okay? Because John Hurt, the War Doctor, yes, but never took the name the Doctor. What I did in, but not in the name of the Doctor, is the line spoken. So, he's referred to as the War Doctor, so you know which one in the chain. But yeah, apparently never took the Doctor as his name. And that's how they're working around it in the storyline. Yeah, it's not you, IQ, it's me, man. Yeah, I like it. I like that our fandoms have their own little nuances that you actually have to be more than just a casual watcher to know little bits and pieces about. I like those gems. I don't like people who are anally over analysing all those little gems and live to correct people at the slightest ooh and ah. Elitist jerks. Whilst it was a great source for enhancing your armour on World of Warcraft, an elitist jerk as a human being is a pain in the fucking ass. And I should know, because I am one. Yeah, that's what she said. Another Guinness for the fucking time.
Contemplating everything that I've done and seen while I take another drink, trying not to look behind. Lights are always flashing, music's always pumping, band is always playing for the groupies and the junkies. Eyes are always watching, senses are alive, feeling deja vu Lustful fire. While the band is playing harder to get to your attention. Body made for sex, body made for sin. Moving to the music, I can feel you within. This place is getting hot, dripping with lust. To get close to you and touch you, I must. Senses overloading as I move a little closer. You're moving to the music and my heart is beating harder. Behind you I move and join your rhythmic motion. Sensual and slow, you move a little closer. Our bodies are in union, moving in perfect time. Moving ever closer to crossing the line. Tasting your skin, feeling your desire. Burning inside with this lustful fire.
You shooting off? No worries, man. Take care of yourself. I'm nearly done for the night too. Once I've got this this piece of detail glued onto the sword, I'm going to pull the pin for the evening and get myself some sleep. My back's starting to hurt from hunching over the table like this. So take care. I'll see you at the next one. Thanks for joining us tonight. You're going to head out as well? Going to see if you can sneak out a bit early. No worries, Finn. Catch you next time. Take care of yourself. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you on the stream when you pop back in again, man. Can't wait to see it all in one piece. Me either. I think I'm gonna stay here. Thanks, Krim. Someone needs to keep an eye on me. Make sure I stay on task and don't do myself a damage. Overdosed on Tim Tams and wake up in the morning in a chocolate cookie coma. Come on, you little shit. Thank you. Damn cat's trying to talk to you. What cat? Oh, my cat. Your cat is trying to talk to me. Am I ignoring it, am I? It types binary. Well, math is supposedly the universal language. So I suppose if a cat was going to converse with us, it would make sense. Or Morse code. Actually, I'm going to need those anyway before we're finished, so let's not put those away. Yeah, that's gonna have to change a little bit. But that was anticipated. It was. Moon Chimera, how are ya? Doing good. Very, very close to the end of the stream though. I'm just going to glue that onto the sword so it looks like that side, and then I'm going to pull it for the evening because we've been going for almost 3 hours now and it's almost 5 AM. Please feel free to stick around for the next few minutes or so if you like. We'd appreciate your company. So what brings you to the channel anyway, Moon? So I don't recall seeing your name too frequently. Yeah, I've totally ruined the lid on that glue too. Huh. Typical. So, Crims, I tell you, my boy and his girlfriend are off to Japan for a fortnight in about a week's time. He went over when he was much younger as an exchange student at high school. We got a Lions Club scholarship to send him over there. And he loved it so much that he talks about it every opportunity he gets, and considering he's 26 now, so that was quite a few years ago, he's very much in love with the place, and the host family he was with took him off the beaten track instead of all the touristy things. Of course they did some touristy things, but they also showed him like their family temple and all that sort of stuff. Thanks, Moon. So there, you already watched a bunch of my streams. You used to be... oh, okay, free word. Sweet. That was bad. That word... Fred word was too hard to read. So here you are as Moon Chimera. Cool bananas. Sword is coming up really nice, Moon. Those pen lines that you can see that form the border and the crosses there, I've actually cut with the tip of the craft knife, so when I hit that with the heat gun, it should look smoking. Oh, it was, man. So like I said, he's spun such a tale telling his girlfriend all about Japan, that now that they had the opportunity, they were tossing up between Ireland and Japan, and he wanted to see more of the world, and she wanted to see the world that he painted the painting in her head of. So they compromised, and they're going to Japan. So I can't wait to see the glow that he will come back with. He tells a story. He went to Himeji Castle, and I probably mispronounced that, and anybody who speaks Japanese, I apologise. And as they walk through the big double-gated doors, my boy is 6'3", 6'4", so he's quite a tall guy. And he looks up at the roof, and there are these wooden sticks in the roof pointing back towards them. Okay. And of course he asked the tour guide, "What are those sticks up there? What's the purpose of them?" And the tour guide smiled and said, "There is no purpose. That's what's left of the arrow shafts from the last time that the castle was attacked in the late 1600s." And it just boggled my fucking mind, man. There are arrow shafts lodged in the roof of that building for longer than Australia has been colonised, for longer than America has been colonised. These arrows have been lodged in that roof. It's like, we really are, as a a couple of societies really naive as to how old and cultured we are. I mean, America's got its Native American culture and we have our Aboriginal culture. But yeah, these guys, like I said, just arrows stuck in the roof longer than the white man's been beating his chest in either the States or in Australia. It's like, damn. He went, the host family have a relative who is an armourer at one of the castles. So they took him into a little room and no cameras, can't take cameras in here. They let him wear a traditional samurai set of armour. He's way too tall for it, so he didn't have leggings and on, but as a mark of respect to the host family that he was with, this relative armourer let him wear the armour, but he was not allowed to take photos. He wasn't allowed to dishonour the family by showing that he was wearing the armour. It's all about respect and face and stuff. So yeah, like I said, he had a freaking blast. So I hope that he can relive some of that. He's been in touch with the host family. He keeps in touch with them every year. They send birthday cards and Christmas cards and stuff, so he's let them know that he's coming back to Japan, and apparently they're going to have a big meet up and renew acquaintances and stuff. I just love that he's had that experience. I mean, and like I said, it's touched him so deeply that he tells his girlfriend about it every time there's something about Japan on TV. We went there and we went there, and just over there behind that corner, you can't see it, but if you go down through that track there, it was an experience. It's I'm really glad that he got to do that, because I am Corona, you are the glow of the sun. That's good. I like that. How are you? Unfortunately, Corona, you're joining us right at the very end of the stream. I'm just about to put this on, and then I'm going to head off because it's 5 AM and I've been streaming 3 hours. I'm really sorry about the timing. It's not intentional, I promise. Good thing foam moves, isn't it? No worries, Corona. Thank you for your understanding. All my streams do end up on my YouTube channel, which you can find there. Not too much longer after I do them. A couple of days, normally. So now I got that on there. I got one more touch to do to make it pop, which is the Oh, that really did buckle, didn't it? Looks yucky. Let's see if we can't massage it a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to cut into the foam on these lines, and when I hit it with the heat gun it's going to form a border around the internal pattern. And make it pop just a little bit more. See, even just drawing the lines on there make that little bit of difference. So a quick run around with the tip of the sharp knife. Now if you're going to do this kind of thing yourself, there's no need to take the blade all the way through the 2mm craft foam. Halfway through is fine. When you hit it with the heat gun it'll open up and it'll really make the detail come alive. I did do that line there, beautiful. That method is good for making scale mail patterns. You know what? I hadn't actually thought about that, but now you talk about it. Yeah. Because I do have the Daedric helmet and armor that I'm working on, which is my personal project, which is why these commissions take priority. Because they help fund the personal build, of course. But yes, I want to do some scale on that, so I might toy around with that idea and see if I can't utilise it. Thank you very much for that, Kit. Okay, my friends, let's take a look at this thing, shall we? The steel GreatSword from Skyrim. It's coming up really cool. Got some work to do on the ricasso. I've got to round off these edges now that I know where my my taper angles are. So I'll bring those in. And then I also have to round off the handle because it's still rectangular. So we'll round off the handle, we'll put the band around the middle of it that's there in the artwork, and to cut it out the centre of the pommel. And I'm also going to taper off the edges of the pommel quite dramatically because it's way too thick at the edges. So we'll bring that down. And then I have another one of these filigree overlays that go on what's left of that. So there we go, gang. There's a bit of a detail for you. Fits on the screen. There it is. So I'm going to love yous and leave yous, gang. It is way too freaking early in the morning. Thank you very much for joining me today and spending some time in chat. Thanks for your contributions. I'm Tyrannus Cosplay. I'll see you next time, which is probably going to be tomorrow night. And until then, please remember, it's called Cosplay because it's meant to be fun. Good night, everybody.